I have coached a Division 10 player all the way up to coaching at the World Championship. And the biggest mistake I have seen is random first touches. This is the biggest, the most occurring mistake in attack. Really, guys, I coach so many players, and this is one mistake I see all the time: bad first touch. And no, taking a perfect first touch isn't as simple as, oh, just don't press R2 sprint button on the first touch, or just point the left stick in the empty space. There's a lot more to it. And if you understand what I'm about to teach you, your first touch will not only go to the next level, but you'll be scoring a lot more goals in this game. For instance, have a look at this goal from Theo Hernandez. How did I set up the first touch, or how did I even end up scoring this goal, right? You might say, oh, it's just lucky, or it's just a common through ball, but there's a lot more to this goal, right? And you can see me, I'm just sprinting all the way through. Why does the first touch even matter? Because it sets up everything from passing to dribbling to shooting. Literally, it sets up everything, right? And so many people, like I said, take it randomly. A poor first touch slows you down, and a good first touch allows you to keep the tempo. And if you are having a good tempo, you'll score a lot more goals in this game. This is the reason the tiki-taka playstyle is so overpowered, because it allows you to keep the momentum of the game. And these are the basics that you really need to understand. You need to control where and how you take your first touch, not just react randomly. Right, we have some dribbling modifiers, for example, holding the L1 button on the first touch. But do I do that in game a lot? No. For instance, this is what I do a lot, right? Taking the touch towards the empty space. This is a very basic way of taking a first touch, and there is a lot more to it. Before that, you need to understand how ball contacts work, okay? See, right now, am I having a contact with the ball? No. Look at Rafina and look at the ball. The ball is further away from his feet. Now, the ball is in his feet. That means I am having a ball contact. See, when I sprint, the ball goes away from the feet. That means I am not having a ball contact. That is the perfect opportunity for my opponent to tackle me. It's very hard to tackle me when I am having contact like this. And this is why it's so important to understand, because it helps us take the perfect first touch. See, here I need to keep the ball contact. I have set the opponent's depth to 95, and they are constantly offside trapping. In such situations, you always need to take the perfect first touch. If I take the wrong direction, I'll close off angles. Look at this, okay? See, if I point it like this, what have I done? I have closed off all angles, and now I am being pressed. Let's pass the ball again to Lever and see, if I took a touch upwards, I have angles, right? I have angles. Here, I have closed the angle. He can easily get the ball off of me. If I took a touch like this, I would have been able to play a pass quickly, and I would have been able to keep the tempo of my attack. And if I was to react randomly, which most of you guys do, you're not conscious of where you are taking the touch, you end up losing the ball. This is why I believe R1 sprinting should be used a lot more, and you guys are not using it a lot. See, when you're doing R1 sprints, you keep the ball much closer as opposed to sprinting, right? So holding L1, LB and then transitioning into R1 sprint is a great way, and you guys need to control sprint more often than you do, especially after taking the first touch. See, if I'm holding R1, I can easily transition towards this pass, and this is a great pass. See, this is a great pass, especially if you want to manually control where the ball is going. I have talked a lot about it, and pros are using it a lot now as well. So you need to practice this as well. I wouldn't say you should never sprint, because sprinting is a common and a very overpowered way of taking space in this game. Here in the wings, it's fine to sprint. Even if I lose the ball here, it's fine. Look, guys, in the wings, I can afford to run, right? I can afford to run. It's fine. Even if I lose the ball here, what's going to happen? The ball will go out for a throw in. That's fine. So in the wings, you should prioritize running. With the CMs, it's okay to take a couple of R1 touches, okay? Afterwards, you have taken a good first touch after that, okay? And what decides a good first touch? I'll give you 3 situations, okay? When you're under pressure, you need to take a safe touch away from the opponent. When building up, always take a touch away from the opponent. See, I see this mistake so many times. You're being pressed and you're on the ball with the center back. It's fine to take a touch like this towards the goalkeeper and then blast the ball away. Rather than taking a touch towards the pressure and losing the ball here, that means the opponent has a higher chance of scoring the goal. This game revolves around probabilities. So when you're building up, you want to be very safe. 100% chance is the best chance when you're trying to build out of the back. You don't want to take 50-50 chances with passing, okay? So this is why always take a safe touch, no R1, no R2, just a complete stop, just a normal simple touch where you keep the ball very close to your feet and are able to glide out of pressure. Add in runs to help you beat that kind of pressure, okay? And it helps you set up your first touch. See, when I have 2 guys running forward, I can decide where I take the touch and see how the defensive line gets pushed back, like I've talked about in another video. See, now I have option to take a touch towards the space. Now it suddenly becomes easier for me to decide where I'm going to take the first touch. See, they're offside trapping, tell him to run. The defensive line pushes back. Now it's easier for me to decide where I'll take the touch and where I'll set up my attack, because the first touch decides where the attack is going to end up. It always starts with your first touch. Now, let's say you're here, almost close to the final third. You want to take progressive touches. Progressive touches are risky touches, which allow you to move the ball forwards, right? For example, if I'm on the ball with the winger, it does not make sense for me to take a touch towards my goal. It makes sense for me to take a touch that is progressive. This is a progressive touch. Here, I can sprint towards the wings, okay? See, this is not a very progressive touch. Why am I facing my CMs? If I'm on the wings, I go like this, then I go back. Now this is a progressive touch. That means I can easily play a first time through ball or a first time ground pass, if I have someone with tiki taka. Like, this is why you want to take progressive touches when you are here. And when you are receiving a through ball, if you have space in front of you, you'll take a heavy touch with the sprint button. Otherwise, you'll just take a normal controlled touch if you have defenders next to you, and then decide what you want to do afterwards. Even when we are doing skill moves, we first set up our skill move. For example, if I am here and I want to do a trickster fake shot, he will think I am going to cut on his left foot. So I'll take a touch towards left and then do a trickster fake on the right. You get it, right? This is how you want to approach ball contacts and first touch in this game.